Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Eric.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down. Kevin, it's good to be back. Oh my God.
Man, I'm in high spirits tonight.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to finally be getting to this movie. This is my life's work. Like you said, They Live was the one that you could retire afterwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I have been waiting for years for someone to sit down with me for a few hours and really talk about Iron Eagle.
Oh man, well, you got me. I made the mistake of agreeing to this, and I have the emotional scarring to prove it.
Dude, I loved this movie so much. I was such a fighter plane nerd when I was like a little kid. I used to draw fighter jets. I could tell you, like, I knew every one from like what they looked like. Like, that's an F-15, that's an F-16, that's an F-18. I loved Top Gun. Obviously, is a superior film.
Yeah, well.
But this one I watched. I've seen this movie definitely more than 100 times.
So I agreed to this sight unseen almost because I did used to watch this as a kid, but I had forgotten most of the movie by this point, and I only had a few isolated scenes and isolated moments that I remembered. Like I vaguely recall the Hades bomb, and I vaguely recalled the ops room, whatever the hell that was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And then obviously Lou Gossett Jr. because he's amazing.
Yeah.
But everything else was just sort of like, I just thought it was sort of a Top Gun also ran, which I come to learn came out. This actually came out before Top Gun.
I think they did rush up the release date to try to beat it into theaters by a couple months.
By a couple months, yeah. It was definitely not the movie my disjointed memory told me that it was.
Well, it's like the teen fantasy version of Top Gun.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, there's so There's so much weird shit happening in this movie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I love it. I love the bonkers movies.
It's so off the wall and so many weird lookalike people. But we'll get into it more.
Yeah.
But there were so many moments like, is that River Phoenix? Is that Paul Dano? I mean, like, there's no way that could be Paul Dano.
No, it couldn't be.
It was weird.
But yeah, this is Iron Eagle. Thanks for joining us on
right.
what's sure to be an awesome adventure.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, thanks if you're listening to us on our own feed. We love you for that. We drop a couple days earlier there than we do on the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network. But you should follow us on both places, really.
Definitely.
Because the podcast network is full of like awesome content, for sure.
So many good shows over there.
Yeah. So the movie, 1986, same as Top Gun, was directed by a dude named Sidney J. Furie.
Furie, love it. Yeah, Sidney Furie's a good name.
My friend Kyle, I watched this with because he had never seen this one.
Kyle, famously of Conan the Destroyer.
Conan the Destroyer, and he was on our Masters of the Universe series.
Right.
Big film guy, and he loves bad 80s movies, but he hadn't seen this one. So we watched it. He loved it.
Yeah.
But he knew Sidney J. Furie well for whatever. He was like, he directed Superman 4. The Quest for Peace.
Oh, I had no idea.
The shittiest of all Superman movies.
We didn't have Richard Pryor. You could never top Superman 3.
Also, this dude directed Iron Eagle 2 and 4, and apparently not the third one.
Interesting.
He directed the movie Ladybugs. Do you remember that one?
I do, with Rodney Dangerfield.
Cross-dressing Jonathan Brandis.
Jonathan Brandis, that's right. I remember.
And he directed a little-known Vietnam movie that I really liked called The Boys in Company C.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's just another like a pale imitation of Full Metal Jacket, except I think it probably came out earlier. It has what's his name? Lee Ermey.
Oh, R. Lee Ermey in it.
R. Lee Ermey is in it. He's definitely younger, but playing the same drill sergeant character.
Yeah.
Not the same, but that identical type of human being.
Right.
Same voice,
right.
same sort of insults and everything. It's quite good. It's really good. I'll
Very
just say,
cool.
Yeah. There's so many great one-liners from the drill sergeants, like bashing people. Yeah, I love it. Jesus fucking Christ. There's like a weird, like sort of Filipino drill sergeant guy, kind of, or just, whatever. He's hysterical. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the flick also was written by Fury and some dude named Kevin Elders, who I looked him up. He had never done anything else really other than this.
Okay.
I did make a note of the cinematographer Adam Greenberg, who was the cinematographer on Terminator and Terminator 2.
Wow.
Rad, right? He was on other Arnold flicks, Eraser, Collateral Damage, Junior.
Really?
He was the DP on, so he must have got along well with Arnold.
Yeah, clearly.
He also was the DP on Snakes on a Plane. 3 Men and a Baby. He did. Turner and Hooch and Ghost.
I mean, these are all classic
big movies. And he did this one.
And Iron Eagle, apparently.
And Iron Eagle.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you?
Well, I mean, he's basically, other than Lou Gossett Jr., the biggest star power in the entire movie. Yeah.
And then music by Basil Polidorus.
Oh, really? I didn't even look at the credits.
Who did Red Dawn?
Yep.
Did Conan the Destroyer and Conan the Barbarian. Yep. Awesome scores. This guy did RoboCop.
Weirdly, I was not a huge fan of the score of this one.
It just had the one theme almost.
The one theme. It didn't do anything else.
But it's very Basil Polidorus-ish, which is like these militaristic sounding.
Yeah. It was too, I don't know, it opened too bright and cheerful. And it like the snare didn't come in like halfway through the theme,
Do you want to take us through the cast?
Yeah. We had, it stars Lou Gossett Jr., as we mentioned, as
Oscar winner
Lou Gossett Jr.
This was coming probably not long after that. I don't know when Officer and a Gentleman was.
I don't remember.
It was early 80s.
It was early 80s for sure.
He's kind of almost playing the same type of character that he did in that movie, I think.
Yeah, he kind of is, but far less like serious though. I mean,
we'll
get to it. I don't want to like spoil anything, but I mean, he is without a doubt like far and away the best actor of this film, and you're why are you in this movie?
He's a legendary. He was on the new the Watchmen series on HBO.
Yep.
He passed away recently. Rest in peace.
That's right, he did.
He was in Roots.
Yes, he was.
He was in Jaws 3D.
Yes, he was.
I remember him well from that. And he was in did you ever see the movie called Toy Soldiers?
Yeah, of course I saw Toy Soldiers.
Like the boarding school gets attacked by terrorists. That's a fucking great movie. That'd be a good one to put on the
We should add that to the list. I haven't watched that movie in so long.
I have a feeling. I remember when they were making their fake booze.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's like creme de menthe. They were just drinking creme de menthe or whatever. And they put like green food coloring in it, and they're like, it looks, tastes, and smells just like mouthwash. I'm like, that sucks. This is no longer fun, right?
No one wants to. No one wants to drink.
We made this. It looks and tastes and smells just like piss. Isn't it great? It's like no, it sounds terrible. But yeah.
But then, I mean, ostensibly the star of the movie is Jason Gedrick as Doug Masters. No, I recognize him, but I couldn't place him from anywhere specifically.
The only other big thing I ever remember him doing was had a big part in Backdraft.
Oh, he did?
He was like, there was the young Baldwin brother who was like the new firefighter, and the other dude that was the other new firefighter was Jason Gedrick.
Oh, okay.
The one who got burned up in one of the Backdraft fires.
Oh, okay.
Like his buddy.
So I looked at a little bit.
He still works, I think, right?
Yeah, he's a working actor.
Yeah, he's out there.
Right, he's not like a huge name. He famously wasn't in Iron Eagle 2. His character is killed off almost immediately in the beginning of the movie.
Off screen, I think,
off
right?
screen.
And then I think, was he in Iron Eagle 3?
They brought him back in 3 or 4.
How?
I don't know. I never saw anything other than the first one.
I saw
the
2.
First 2.
I think I saw 2.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything beyond that.
But apparently, so the rumor is so Iron Eagle 2 through 4 were co-funded by the Canadian and Israeli governments, which we'll get into a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
And the rumor was they couldn't get his visa cleared to work in Canada in time to shoot the second movie.
That's so strange.
So they wrote him out of the movie as quickly as possible and recast his parts so they could meet their production schedule.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the rumor that I heard.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got David, is it Suckett or Sushit? I don't know
I don't know.
Okay.
I only know him really from this, but he was in a million Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
Like Masterpiece Theater or whatever.
Didn't he play Poirot?
Poirot in like 100 episodes. Of
I know.
I'm like, oh.
I saw him and I'm like, what is Poirot doing in this movie?
So you watched those Poirot things?
I've seen a few of them, but I mean, I know who he is because that role defined his career.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like when I see him in this movie playing a generic like Arabic guy. They don't even explain what country that they're invading.
No.
Which again, we'll get to that in a minute.
I think, yeah.
Well, I was like, oh
but
my
like
God.
Top Gun was the same, right? We never knew who the bad guys were.
No. Just vaguely Russian, right?
The commies. They're the commies.
They're the commies.
Yeah.
Tim Thomerson plays Lieutenant or Colonel Ted Masters.
You got the "and" credit, like and Tim Thomerson. I don't
know who this guy is.
He's not ever been in much of anything.
No. Larry B. Scott as Reggie.
Do you know him?
Oh yeah, he's from Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds. He was Lamar.
Yeah, he was Lamar in Revenge of the Nerds.
He was also the token black Cobra Kai in Karate Kid.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten that.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I remember when I was watching this, doing the research. I'm like, hey, it's the guy from Revenge of the Nerds.
And he's
like
so
immediately.
good.
Yeah, he's really
so
funny.
Good in this.
He's really funny. And then we've got Jerry Levine as Tony.
Who I love him as well. Styles from Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
That's like. And he was in Born on the 4th of July, but dude, Styles from Teen Wolf is one of my favorite characters ever in movies. Like this dude, I'm predisposed to love Jerry Levine, and he's awesome in this too.
Yeah.
Like these were not big.
They're the buddies, right?
They're the two buddies.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that get enough screen time to me that deserve a mention before we get started.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before, and he in this movie for some reason. I kept thinking he was Paul Dano.
Yeah,
through the
got
whole
a little
movie.
bit of the look.
Yeah, and I'm like, is he Paul Dano's father? Like, it was so weird. Anyway, that's I think the main cast. It's a huge ensemble.
There were some faces we're gonna get to as we go along.
So many character actors in this movie.
Yeah,
they come by. Sometimes you blink and you miss it, and it is just crazy to me. Like it was a working actors movie.
Yes, I am here for it. Yeah. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm so ready for this. Let's get going.
Okay, so it opens with the TriStar Pegasus running through. I love that shit. Is it still a thing?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a million years. It's been long enough that when I saw it, I was like, oh, hey, this is familiar territory.
It has that thing you like where they did the animation on the cell, like the wings are just animated, like hand drawn.
Yeah,
but they look pretty great. It still looks good. So we get this yellow military style font over aerial footage. It's like that classic
over the cloud.
It's like stencil looking like the A-Team font, or G.I. Joe type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Louis Gossett Jr. got his name before the title and everyone else was after the title. Which, that must have been negotiated in, right? But we see two American F-16s being flown by like this middle-aged dude and then his wingman, like a much younger guy.
Yeah.
So they're just cruising over puffy white clouds with the patriotic, like sort of military sounding music playing. Music fades out. We see this display in the cockpit that says like aircraft approaching. That was weird. It was like a little ticker.
I never got tired of the ticker.
I'm like, that cannot be real.
It gets really sassy later in the movie. Yeah. We'll talk about that.
I want that not to be real. Even in don't let me know that things look that cheap in these multi-million-dollar aircraft.
I do not believe. I feel like that was a crutch that the writers used because they didn't have a better way of handling it. That they could
and some prop designer, guy manufactured a thing.
Yeah, right.
Like we can just make this ticker
and just shoot it.
We shoot little inserts. We slap it in the edit. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So on the radar though, they can see there's these 4 bogies approaching.
Which the worst radar mock-up screen.
It was kind of rough.
Oof.
So it was very all of that was like the planes were the shape of a plane.
Yeah.
And when there was a missile fire to be a little shape of a missile coming, it was weird.
A missile, yeah.
But they see these 4 bogies approaching. The F-16's computer identifies them as MiG-23s. The middle-aged dude is clearly like the guy in command, so he orders them to climb to avoid the MiGs. Then on the radar, the MiG pilot addresses them, "Attention American invaders, you're violating our territorial airspace." And all of a sudden, the other pilot turned into a hick or something. Yep. He's like, "What the hell are they talking about?
What the hell are they?" That was such a weird turn.
It would have been amazing if he had just a long piece of hay sticking out of his mouth all of a sudden.
Or a corn cob pipe, right?
Corn cob.
He pulls a banjo out from somewhere in the back. You have no idea where he got it.
What the hell are they talking about? So I'm also pretty sure that the lead bad guy is Colonel Nikesh.
Yes, he is.
Even though that's not made very clear in this moment, I think it was him.
Later on, when he's hopping out of the plane.
Yeah, the primary antagonist,
yeah, he's
right?
the primary bad guy, yeah.
So then the American pilots are confused. The commanding pilot identifies himself as Colonel Ted Masters of the U.S. Air Force, which I read somewhere that would never happen. You would not tell them your name.
Not over an open channel like that, no.
And that like for security reasons,
right.
like, and also that him and the other guy kept calling each other by their rank, like colonel and major or whatever the other guy was, lieutenant. And they said also that's why you have call signs.
You don't want to paint a target.
You don't want to know who's the higher ranking and who, like anything identifying about you. But so I thought that was interesting because I never really thought about it. But that is why you have a call sign. So no one knows anyone's rank or what their real name is or anything like that. So Colonel Masters, he tries to say that they're flying routine exercises, but before he can even like get that out, they're shooting at him already.
We got to establish that the Americans are the good guys in this movie, right? So it's really important that the villainous generic country shoots first.
Yeah. So they take evasive maneuvers and the dogfight is on. Colonel Masters, he shoots down one of the MiGs. Another MiG, though, hits his wingman who says, "I'm losing fuel," which I'm like, motherfucker, you just got hit by a missile. Like, you're not just dumping fuel all of a sudden. Like, he nicked my fuel tank.
They play really fast and loose over the course of this entire movie about what missiles are capable of doing and what just simple bullet fire is capable of doing.
It gets crazy later on. But Colonel Masters orders him to return to the base why don't you both return to the base?
I know. I don't understand. Like, just turn around.
Stay here and
leave.
fight these four. You go back. I guess he's going to fend them off or something.
Right.
Doing the hero move.
Yeah.
So he shoots down another MiG. Well, even more bogeys have shown up now. He's in pretty good spirits. He's like, oh, these guys aren't playing around. I'm like, considering you're in an unwinnable situation at this point.
This is a lose-lose situation.
They make a wisecracks and stuff, you know?
God.
But so a MiG gets behind Colonel Masters and shoots his plane. He's clearly hit by bullets and not a missile, though. So that was like, I buy that you got hit and maybe you can't fly anymore, but you're not just exploding.
Yeah.
So his instruments go haywire. Computer tells him he needs to eject. His F-16 is rapidly losing altitude. And we hear a big boom. So that's like our cold open. I watched this movie a while back with Kyle, and he started pointing out like all the Top Gun similarities. Yeah. And he's like, so we got like the hotshot pilot whose daddy got shot down and everything like that. He's got like daddy issues, And I'm like, oh yeah, I never thought about it, but that's fair point.
Right. I mean, this movie is just. We were talking about this before we were recording, and it is Top Gun meets The Breakfast Club, right? It is Top Gun meets Karate Kid.
With like Ferris Bueller mixed in.
It's exactly right. It is
any number of like John Hughes type movies.
The quintessential 80s teen power fantasy movie.
Yeah.
And put that on an Air Force base and generic unidentified
Which was not
company.
To love. That's like everything that a teenage boy or whatever 10-year-old boy wants to see. I mean, I was nuts about it. But the action cuts then to the United States. There's a little model of an F-16 fighter in the bedroom of high school senior Doug Masters. Looking not a day under 25.
Oh, my God. The oldest 18-year-old on the history of the planet.
Apparently, the actor was only 20, which I'm like, oh, okay. I thought you looked a lot older than 20 because he's like yoked up. He's like muscular.
Oh, I know. He looked
like
he was like in his late 20s.
Yeah, I mean, he had the whole like Tiger Beat, Team Heartthrob type look going for real.
And it becomes even more apparent like how adult he looks when we meet his friends who are all clearly younger than him and still have a lot of baby fat on them.
Maybe not style. Maybe not Jerry Levine. He looked old to me too.
Not Jerry Levine, but like some of the other teenagers, he really felt old compared to them.
Yeah. So now he's sitting at a desk tinkering with like a Walkman.
Yeah.
Whatever. His hair is feathered to within an inch of its life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing hair.
He completes his task, gathers up his shit, pops the tape out of the stereo. He goes in the other room where his little brother, Matt, is in there, whatever, talking on the phone, says it's time to go.
He was a freshman talking to a junior. That was like the whole conversation, right?
Yeah. So he's like, come on, we're late. We got to go meet Tony and Reggie. Little brother's like, I'll catch up with you. I'm talking to a girl, Sheila Tolucci. It's one of those great like names.
And she's a junior.
What are you doing talking to her? She's a junior. She thinks I am too.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love the little brotherly ball breaking that was going on. Like the kid brother killed me where he's like, now disappear before I have to pound you. It's like
the 80s lingo. Oh my God.
Yeah, so Doug leaves. The little brother goes back to the call. He's like, that's my little brother. You know how kids are. It's so good, man. So now out in the living room, Doug's mom is forcing his little sister to wear this dress while she's sewing like a ruffle on the bottom of it or whatever.
Yeah, she's like hemming it in or something. I don't know.
Why would she need to be wearing this while you're doing that? That's like hours, like, but
we got to, there's so much like laying pipe that they're doing right now.
Yeah. So the little sister's unhappy. The mom says, you need to look nice for your brother's graduation. Feed us little exposition nuggets. Sister takes a swipe at Doug and says it's a miracle he's graduating at all, which is like rough.
Jeez, man. Doug just can't get a break.
So Doug's like, I'm off to meet Tony and Reggie. Mom says, okay, we'll be back by 6 because your dad's going to call. He wants to talk to you before prom or whatever the dance is.
Yeah, I assume it's prom. I mean, that's what I
assumed except it's like the day before graduation.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm like, that's weird, but maybe it's like a graduation dance. I don't know. But they had the little hallway decorated with these weird watercolor sort of pencil sketches of the family. Mm-hmm. The only other place I've ever seen that was in Walter White's house in Breaking Bad. They had the same type of like portraits of each member of the family on the wall. I'm like, that shit's in Iron Eagle.
What was that old sitcom that Michael J. Fox was in? Family Ties. Family Ties.
Did they have
Didn't that in the opening credits? Wasn't it like the watercolor?
I never really watched that one, but it might have been. That seems right to me.
Okay, all right.
We'll check YouTube.
We'll have to check that out.
But anyway, so Doug, then he goes out to his car, his sweet fucking red, like first generation Mustang convertible.
Really nice.
There's normal bustling of a military base is going on around, like soldiers walking around and stuff. He plugs his Walkman like into the 8-track player thing, blasts his tune, Road to the Gypsy by Adrenaline.
Throws on those Ray-Ban sunglasses.
Dude, that was some crazy technology. Like the whole...
Oh, I know.
It's got an 8-track player, but I got this adapter and everything like that. Like... My first car had a tape deck.
Yeah.
And I never played tapes, but I had the Discman with the little tape adapter. And I'm like, oh, it's the same technology. I fucking love that. Did you have a car with a tape deck ever?
I did, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, my truck did, and so I had one of those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit a bump and it skips.
Yeah, oh, yeah, infinitely. Yeah.
So, but I like the idea of this where the tape, you pop it out from your stereo in your room, take it to the car and pop it in. It's like the same place of the same song. That's kind of like, I'm like, oh, I got nostalgia for that.
Kevin, we live in the 21st century. We can do this with our phones now. I don't want to.
I'm old school though. I kind of like this. But yeah, he puts on those baller ass sunglasses, peels out, narrowly avoiding like a wreck. Except the shit was crazy because if he hadn't peeled out, that car would have hit his parked car.
Right.
It was kind of weird. Like he peeled out and all of a sudden the car comes screeching in and would have hit his car if he hadn't moved. I'm like, shit, what was going to happen here if you hadn't driven off? But so then he starts driving. He's parallel to the runway as a jet's coming down. That's like mirrors that Top Gun shot
moment, which is weird because they came out first. So, I mean, it's not
that
surprising.
Maybe Top Gun stole their shit.
I don't know. It seems like a logical thing. If you got a hotshot pilot, of course they're going to drive a fast vehicle.
Yeah.
And of course you're going to want to do a shot.
Except this kid's a high schooler. That's where it gets weird.
Well, it gets weird, but we'll get there. Yeah.
But so then a car passes him on a double yellow. And then he swerves around to pass that car on a double yellow. Like a fucking maniac. And he almost like goes head on, crashes with another car. That was wild shit.
I was reading a little bit about this scene, and apparently this pissed off a lot of like vets who worked military police on the base. And if they saw a kid doing that, like he would have just never been allowed anywhere near a car.
Yeah.
That kind of behavior is absolutely unacceptable on a military base.
This is a pre 9/11 world. I feel like, but nowadays you're not driving, you're not tearing ass through the security stop.
Yeah.
Now, he was leaving the base, not entering, but But I'm like, well, who was the other asshole who passed him on a double yellow?
I don't know what they're doing.
What is happening here
in the 1980s?
I don't. What are we supposed to think of Doug? That he's like, oh, is the fact that he's driving like a complete asshole supposed to make us think he's cool?
I think so. It's not clear because then he, as we'll see, clearly isn't the top of the teenage pecking order.
Oh, yeah?
Right? Like, so I don't know where he stands in the overall hierarchy of teen coolness.
I think he's king shit on the base.
On the base.
Out of military brats.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that main soldier, like at the gate, whatever, he's yelling at him when he speeds by. So now from the signs posted around, we see that he and his family, they live on Beecher Air Force Base in the town of Alta Vista, which appears to be like somewhere in the American Southwest, Southern California, or
and it's not,
or New Mexico.
It's totally not Israel.
No, I think all of this shit was filmed in areas around LA.
Oh, okay.
This shit was.
Okay.
You can kind of tell any shot where there's an actual F-16 in the frame. Yeah. That's Israel.
That's Israel.
And the ones with the are passing for the Mid-Eastern country. I think that's all Israel.
Yep.
But yeah, this shit was filmed like out in the like these desert, these kind of like Bakersfield or some shit like that. Now, Doug pulls up to the drive-in restaurant where the car hops are delivering food out to the people's cars, old school.
Root beer float. Did you see the root beer float?
Yeah, it was
hilarious.
everything except like the waitresses on roller skates.
Right,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
Exactly.
And she was bringing that root beer float to this the dude was fucking looked just like Larry Bird.
I know. There's so many lookalikes in this movie. I kept doing double and triple takes the whole time through.
But now we got Reggie. That's Larry B. Scott. He's dancing for Tony.
Yep.
And Jerry Levine.
I bet those two, they own a house out in Simi Valley now.
Absolutely, or Sausalito.
They've adopted like 3 kids. Like they're just happy as pig and shit.
They were soulmates.
Oh, they were definitely soulmates.
Yeah. They hadn't realized it yet, I don't think.
No, not at that point. But they were definitely they retired together, and I'm very happy for that.
Those two though, the actors had amazing chemistry.
Oh,
all three of the trio had amazing chemistry together.
Yeah.
They were great. So they're all wearing these matching like Eagles Flying Club jackets. So when Doug pulls up, Reggie says, "I'm practicing for the prom" or whatever. Then Reggie gives him grief about being late and is like, you won't be able to, being late is not going to cut it at the Air Force Academy. And then he says, if they're late, they'll shoot you, that seems unlikely. I hope.
I feel like they may be a little bit more flexible than that.
Yeah. But just then we see this other car that's being terrorized by a guy on a dirt bike and a couple of other dudes in a big truck. And the car pulls into the drive-in. It's Doug's girlfriend, Katie, played by the lovely Melora. Am I saying that right? Melora Hardin. Did you know who that was?
No, I didn't recognize her at all.
That's Michael Scott's girlfriend, Jan Levinson from The Office.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Jan? She looks great now.
Yeah.
And she looked great then too.
Oh, that completely
yes, that's Jan from The Office.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Well, and it was a big thing in the 80s, wasn't it? Like the bad kids on dirt bikes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. That was a thing. Yeah. You knew there was a troublemaker if he's riding a dirt bike.
These bullies serve their purpose and then they disappear. And we'll get to that in a moment.
They're here for Act 1.
Yeah. This is the straight up Act 1 bullies.
So Doug asked the obvious question of what happened. And she gives the obvious answer of literally what you just saw. I was coming over the bridge and they surrounded me. And he loses his fucking mind and goes running at the bullies, and Tony and Reggie are trying to hold him back.
Yep.
So the 3 bullies are Notcher, played by Michael Bowen.
Okay.
Do you recognize him?
No.
Well, he was in Night of the Comet.
Oh, he was.
Right? He was one of the dudes in that.
That's a great one. Yeah.
He was also Buck, and I'm here to fuck. He was
in
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. Oh,
and he was in Jackie Brown, I think, too. He was Michael Keaton's partner.
See, so many of these people
they went on to careers, man.
And they went on to these careers, and it's just they look completely different to me.
And then his cronies are Packer, played by Rob Garrison, who was Tommy from Karate Kid.
Okay.
Somebody get him a body bag.
Yeah.
That guy. And the other guy was Brillo, played by Tom Fridley, who was also in Karate Kid. He was one of Freddie Fernandez's friends when they're playing soccer on the beach in the very beginning.
Yeah.
He's the one that said, maybe they don't got no moves where he comes from, whatever. Yeah, dude, I love seeing Karate Kid alumni and things. I can't tell you. So the bullies, they think the whole situation's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
It reminds me of when Biff, would be harassing Lorraine in Back to the Future, but it's harassing her in a way that's fucking criminal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
I'm lifting your skirt up to try to look at your panties on the street.
Well, I mean, typically speaking, when you try to run somebody off the road, that is illegal.
That's a crime.
That is an absolute crime. Yeah.
So Notcher says he was just trying to get Katie to realize that she deserved more than a pussy Air Force brat, right? So apparently terrorizing her that's Notcher's move to woo her. So now Reggie tries to talk sense to Doug, says if you get in trouble for fighting again, you're going to throw your future away. And he said again, which makes me think Doug is a little bit of a... he's no angel.
No, not at all.
Right? He says, don't waste your time on this big, nasty, moose-lipped grease ball. So Doug tells Notcher, I'm fed up with your crap. Notcher says, we can settle this right now if you have the balls. He's like, just run the snake with me.
Yeah.
So Tony and Reggie tell Notcher, you got snake on the brain. And then didn't you learn anything after what happened to Branson? So Doug and Tony and Reggie, they walk away with the bullies teasing them as they leave. The dude Packer is like, we love your jackets, boys.
Yep.
Which I actually did like. I love a good movie bully. They they bring joy to my life because they're so weird.
I would love to play a movie bully.
Yeah,
that just seems
gotta
awesome.
be fun.
Yeah, you can just lean into it. Oh
like,
yeah,
you're just enjoying how much of a fucking piece of shit you are.
You can't lean into it enough. You cannot go too far with an '80s movie bully.
I thought the jackets were kind of cool.
They were.
If you were at Dragon Con or some con and there was like a group that was wearing the jackets, I'd lose my shit.
Oh yeah, that would be one of those like 10%er cosplays.
Yeah.
But
I love those. Those are the ones I like.
Yeah, the people who got it would love it.
One time, this is way back. We did like it wasn't at Dragon Con, but we went to one of the Dragon Con bars for somebody's birthday, and the idea was we're gonna do undercover like cosplay, like something that people who saw you wouldn't know you were dressed as someone else, and then it was sort of trying to figure out who you were. So, and mine was my undercover cosplay was being Styles from Teen Wolf. I went online and bought the T-shirt that says "obnoxious" on it or whatever, and it's like a Hawaiian shirt over an obnoxious T-shirt, and like the Shutter sunglasses, you know.
Yeah.
They do sell online the "What are you looking at, dick nose" T-shirt, but I didn't want to buy that one. That's a little aggressive to just wear.
I think that it also would have been more obvious too, because it's such a very specific thing on a T-shirt.
But now at this moment, Doug's little brother comes running up with a letter that he said arrived right after Doug left. Letters from the U.S. Air Force Academy.
So we saw Doug racing out of the Air Force
That's
base.
True.
Racing some indeterminate amount of distance to this
miles,
diner. Miles. And then his brother shows up out of nowhere not 15 minutes later. How did he get here?
This is an honest apology for the movie. Because when they were talking before, the brother did say, you go on and I'll take the Honda or I'll take the dirt bike.
Oh,
so I think we never saw him pull up on it.
I missed that line.
Because the kid was like, Dad told you not to take that bike off base or whatever. And he's like, how's he going to bust me if he's not around?
Yeah, okay.
That was right before night. Now get out of here before I have to pound you.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. I needed that moment.
He did have a motorbike or something.
All right. I feel like this was an oversight on the movie's part.
No, they were airtight.
Right.
They covered it.
All right. Okay, good.
Well, yeah, so he's got a letter from the U.S. Air Force Academy. Everyone gets real excited because this must be Doug's acceptance letter, right?
He's going to get in.
Tony starts beating like a little drum roll on the kid's shoulders.
Yeah.
Doug opens the letter and is disappointed to learn that he's been rejected.
My God. Who could have seen that coming in an 80s teen power fantasy movie?
Doug, he balls that letter up and he chucks it. Tony and Reggie immediately start saying, well, you had to kind of expect it, right? And he's like, the GPA? We're talking subterranean range here. That's fucked up. It's like no bedside manner from the friends, right?
This movie is just chock full of inappropriate emotional responses to tense situations.
And then Doug says, I never would have gotten that F if I didn't have to cut class to sneak in to get the simulator.
Right.
And it's like, unless there's some rule about you have to have simulator hours to apply, you didn't have to skip class.
No, you did not. Yes.
To fuck around in the simulator.
That did not escape my notice because it's just sort of like, someone's projecting slightly here.
Yeah, man. So just then we hear the voice of Notcher speaking over the drive-in's loudspeaker, announcing to everyone that can hear that Doug was rejected by the Air Force Academy.
So in this moment, for whatever reason, he looked exactly like Owen Wilson to me in the booth. I don't know why. I kept expecting him to say, wow, or something along those lines.
They must have picked up the rejection letter when Doug threw it away. Notcher saying some wildly homophobic shit,
too.
Oh,
my God. This is the 80s, though. They're allowed to get away with it, apparently.
But, he's saying this shit in a town where probably half the people are Air Force.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. He's like, you would have looked cute marching around with the other little Air Force fairies and stuff. And it's like, dude, I feel like half the customers here are probably in the Air Force.
In the Air Force. I know. And he's saying this crazy. Over the fucking PA.
Yeah. That was crazy to me. But so Doug tries to get at him, but Notcher's the goons are there holding the door shut. And Tony and Reggie are holding him back. Doug tells Notcher, I'm going to wait for you until you come out, and then you're mine. And then Notcher goads him again to say, like, just run the snake with me.
So, did nobody work at this restaurant? Are they just allowed inside where the employees are supposed to be?
There were, like, the waitresses were trying to open the door, and they were holding the door shut.
Okay, all right.
And I've seen this movie 100 times, so I know what the snake is. But as a viewer that hadn't seen it in a long time, are you like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I assumed.
Could you even know what? Did you have an assumption?
Not even the vaguest inclination about why they kept referencing the snake. It was a challenge of some sort.
Okay.
It's like, okay, it is a challenge of some sort. It will be revealed what the challenge is.
Okay.
Eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Notcher says to him, if you fight me, you got to deal with the sheriff. If you race me, all you got to deal with is the mountains and me.
I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a flight thing. Yeah. So I knew at that point when he said the mountains, I knew it was like, okay, there's gonna be a plane involved here. So.
Okay, yeah, it's about time, right?
Yeah.
We've
finally
been like 5 whole minutes without seeing a plane. But so then Doug says you're on, tells somebody to go get his plane ready to fly the snake. And Katie yells out after him, you'll get killed just like Jimmy Branson.
Right.
That Katie role, that was a tough role because she was nothing but a wet blanket the whole time, Very attractive wet blanket. So now later on, all the parties involved, they arrive at this little airstrip out in the desert. Notcher's fucking popping wheelies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Doug finds an unknown man. Like, that's Chappie, Louis Gossett Jr., but he's tinkering around under the hood of his plane.
All right, we got to stop right there.
Yeah.
If I show up to an airfield where my plane is being taken care of, and a stranger is
fucking around
working on my engine, I turn to the bully and I go, look, I want to do this. Some guy is fucking with my engine right now.
Yeah.
We got to sort this problem
I got to have
first.
this inspected, make sure, like, have a mechanic give it a...
Right. Yeah, exactly.
This is a fucking perfect part for Louis Gossett Jr., though, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh, it was great. It was so good.
I read somewhere that also, like, Morgan Freeman had read for this part.
Yes, I read that too.
Did you see that? Yeah. I think, though, I can't... Morgan Freeman's a superior actor. I don't think he could have done better in this role.
He's not gruff in the way that Lou Gossett Jr. is.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, Lou Gossett Jr. feels like a military gruff kind of performance, right?
I mean, this is the role that he was born to play. That's why he's played it more than
times.
I mean, he's played it like 5-6 times.
Yeah.
Right? So, Doug asks, who are you? What are you doing to my plane? What are you doing making my fuel mixture so rich? Then Chappie's like, you're flying the snake, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he knows that.
Again, maybe the only thing I could figure...
He did call and say, fuel my plane up, I'm running the snake or whatever.
The other thing, too, is maybe this is sort of maybe a bit of local lore.
Yeah.
Like the kids, they take the danger road, like Suicide Hill or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but yeah.
But yeah, so Chappie tells him, like, how low do you have to keep the thing? And he says 50 feet off the rocks, which sounds insane because it is.
It's really low.
The Chappie says if you're flying that low, your engine's going to stall out. You'll crash if you don't have a rich fuel mixture. And Doug says, oh, that must have been what happened to Branson. And Chappie confirms, So Chappie's like, he's very plugged in on what the juvenile delinquents are up to. You know what I mean? Like, he knows about what caused Jimmy Branson's crash. Like, it's crazy. But Doug's appreciative. He asks, what do I owe you? And Chappie says, we can talk about that later if you come back, which is a strange thing to say.
It's especially...
It had a weird pervy connotation to it almost.
All of this was such a weird scene to me.
Well, like, obviously there's going to be a story that intrudes here.
Yeah.
But if the story didn't kick into high gear after this as far as the dad, like, what was going to... What do I owe you?
Right,
like,
exactly.
We'll talk about what you owe me later. Like, you're a stranger. You're a strange... maybe Doug is 18. He probably is.
Yeah,
he's probably one of these older
school.
seniors. Yeah. But still, it's weird.
I mean, maybe he failed once. Maybe he's actually is like 19 or 20, and he was held back.
25.
He got held back a couple of times. Yeah, maybe that's part of the canon of the movie.
So now later on, Reggie's going over the rules for the snake,
which is one of my favorite 80s tropes ever. People who already know everything that's about to happen still need to have the rules explained to them. Yeah.
Well, we're getting clarity as viewers, right? So he's saying, Doug, you can fly any route you want through the mountains as long as you keep it no more than 50 feet off the ground. And Notcher's got to keep on the main road on his dirt bike. And the first one to get back to the starting line on the landing strip wins.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, unnoticed by everyone, we see that Packer is screwing around under the hood of Doug's plane. And motherfucker, is doing this right in front of everyone, and no one saw it.
No one notices.
Right? So then Tony says, me and Reggie, we're going to fly separately in our own planes that we have as teenagers in high school with Packer and Brillo to make sure no one cheats.
Of course.
I love the conceit that like all these teens have their own planes and they're fucking high schoolers.
I mean, now I know where my tax dollars are going.
They also they're like seemingly mortal enemies, but they're like, yeah, well, we'll fly together.
We'll just fly together. Sure, why not? Yeah, you got a good plane.
And it was that point I noticed Packer's wearing this amazing shirt that's a Dickel whiskey shirt.
Oh.
That said, water's for washing, Dickel's for drinking.
I also loved, and it wasn't as clever as that, I love Doug's Cessna t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed it before, and I'm like, oh, dude, that Cessna shirt. I like
right
that.
On.
And then, of course, he flies a Cessna, right?
Of course,
like,
yeah.
Oh, all right, yeah.
If you buy the plane, they probably give you a free t-shirt.
Give you a free t-shirt, yeah.
So Doug, he fires up his plane, straps on this little tape deck harness thing that like goes around his thigh.
Yeah.
And cranks up his music. The song was Old Enough to Rock and Roll by Rainey Haynes.
I got to be honest, man. This soundtrack is full of bangers.
I love this song.
It's a great soundtrack,
Super
man.
new wavy sort of song playing. Doug takes off and like the race is on, and Tony or Reggie is like, the music is jamming, D. Dance with those rocks. Fucking weird.
So many weird lines.
Reggie confirms over the radio, like, watching Doug fly makes my stomach hurt. And meanwhile, Notcher, he almost gets run over by a big truck while he's like driving his bike on the wrong side of the road. Yeah. Tony then tells everyone Notcher almost began a new career as a hood ornament, which I loved. I'm a big Jerry Levine fan. His line deliveries crack me up. I feel like he should have had a bigger career, except that he's not like he's a Paul Dano looking dude. He's not like a matinee idol.
Right.
He's just a solid, funny actor. But so he's always going to be the goofy friend, you know? But Doug comes right up behind Notcher, flying like fucking no more than 10 feet off the ground. That was fucking wild, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's clearly a middle-aged man flying the plane, but that was an awesome stunt.
So this is a bit of sad trivia.
Yes, I know where you're going.
Tell us. Where I'm going with this. So the guy who was flying the plane would later die in a plane accident while filming Top Gun.
Yeah.
He was one of the planes flying the cameras while they were filming stuff in Top Gun, and I think
he was like
crashed.
supposed to be like shooting like just the plates that they would project behind them on stuff,
and there was just this horrible accident.
But yeah, the dude was hold on, his name was Art Scholl. He was like a famous guy in the industry, like a legendary like stunt pilot and acrobatic like pilot.
And I mean, honestly, these Cessna scenes might have been the best flying in the entire movie.
There's some shit that's going to happen here that you're like, Jesus Christ, that makes my stomach turn. Like, that is some dangerous looking shit they're doing.
Yeah, and it's really, honestly, this probably was my favorite part of the movie. Just watching
I think it did
guy.
peak in the snake scene. But the Notcher, he veers off onto this gravel road. Tony notes this is an obvious violation of the rule. The clearly established rules, he's got to stay on the main road.
The main road.
Right?
Specifically the main road.
And everyone seems content to just let it continue. Well, there's nothing we can do. Packer's like, a road's a road, man. It's like, no, you said main road. Like, no. So Reggie tells Doug, what, he's cheating, like, you know, whatever, you may as well quit. He's like, no, it's not over yet. So now we got Doug coming up to Devil's Face, which is where Branson crashed, and he did this wild move like up and over this like very sheer rock formation. Yeah. Shit was crazy, dude. It was. I wondered where they filmed, because I'm like, I don't think this really looks like even Southern California. It almost looked like Red Rocks type area of Colorado or something. Yeah,
it did look like that region. Could
be around Death Valley. I think has some stuff like that maybe too.
The geography of this movie is just all over the place. Yeah. Like it's hard for me to tell where any of this is going on.
But so Reggie does this like barrel roll in his plane just to fuck with Brillo. And now Notcher's hauling ass down this little gravel road. Doug's weaving through these red rock formations. There was one shot that looked so fucking dangerous. Like the plane was so close to the rocks that I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Like this dude, Art Scholl, whatever, was a daredevil, man.
Oh, yeah.
So suddenly white smoke starts pouring out of Doug's engine. Doug announces that he's losing oil pressure. Motherfucking Packer was very amused. He's like, I wonder what a Cessna looks like splattered all over those rocks.
Why are teenagers in the 80s so okay with murder?
Yeah.
I mean, bullies escalate things so fast in 80s movies.
It raises the question, like, did they tamper with Branson's plane and kill him?
Is that right? Was Branson murdered? Like, is this a whole other movie we should be watching right now?
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
But Tony is like, he says, what did you do to his engine, you freak? And Packer immediately confesses.
Just no resistance whatsoever.
Nacho made me do it. He had me adjust his oil cap. It's like he couldn't confess fast enough.
No, he was so ready for this. All right, I want to sidetrack a little bit here. I feel like I want to script write and say that Packer, while he was fucking with the plane on the ground, he was like, please someone catch me. Please, I really just someone, I really don't want to.
That's why he was so.
That's why he was so blatant about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that shit was wild. That, like, it blows my mind that they were, like, okay with murdering someone.
I know.
You know? Tony relays this information about the oil cap to Doug. And he and Reggie are trying to urge Doug just to land. But, like, land where?
Right. You're in the middle of the mountains at this point.
I mean, he's trying to fly back to the landing strip.
Right.
I think that's where you can land. That's the only place you're going to be able to land around here.
That is literally your only end game is the end of this race.
So I guess you may as well keep flying the snake, whatever. There was one really particularly good line reading from Tony.
Yeah.
I thought just where he's like, just land the plane, man. Like, it was just a very, like, I was like, oh, that's, like, I bought it. I believed it, man.
Right. Just
so,
like, it's not worth it.
So Doug then, he continues to do these wild stunts through the mountains. He clears the mountains and he announces, I'm coming up behind Notcher. Tony and Reggie, they plead with him to please set it down. Doug's like, no, I can pass him. And then we get these shots of the plane flying like up right behind the motorbike and flying right alongside it. Those shots were awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like,
really
dangerous
cool.
as a motherfucker because the wing of the plane's almost hitting the dude on the dirt bike.
I know.
Like, it was crazy. And like, we're seeing, this dirt bike is going the same speed as this plane. Like, they're pacing each other.
Yeah.
They're right beside each other. It was just awesome. So Doug passes him, though, of course, right before the finish line.
So, okay. When did they have time to set up this whole finish line thing? Like,
yeah, that's
where
true.
Did this come from?
It was true. They had a whole, like,
the whole
tape
thing
stretched out between the thing. Like,
exactly.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was big. I don't know, man. I don't know. They were all doing that, I guess, while they were running the snake or something.
Right,
exactly,
I don't know. Yeah.
But Doug has a very bumpy landing. The plane careens off the runway. Another fucking, actually, like a really dangerous stunt. Like this sort of bouncing along and like your wings almost clipping the ground
like
and everything.
Doing that intentionally seems
like that seems
so
dangerous as fuck.
Unbelievably dangerous.
Yeah, like you're able to do this and feel like you're under control of what's happening. Okay. But yeah, he bounces along through the desert. Finally, he breaks his landing gear and crashes the plane.
And is immediately out. Like just instantly is out of the plane. Yeah.
I mean, he fucked that plane up.
Oh, it was broken.
I'm like, something we'll never have to worry about moving forward.
No.
We never see about that plane. Or
never addressed.
But like, Jesus Christ, he just wrecked his plane. Like, that's expensive, right?
Yeah.
So Doug hobbles out of the cockpit with like some sort of leg injury, it seems like. Notcher comes riding up in high spirits. He's cackling and like asking, how was the landing? And like, how the fuck old is Notcher supposed to be? That motherfucker looked 30.
Yeah.
The actor was 30, I think.
Okay.
Is he supposed to be another high schooler or is he supposed to be a 30-year-old bullying a high schooler?
I mean, we don't ever establish it one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can just give the movie the benefit of the doubt here. This is just some loser.
A 30-year-old?
A 30-year-old who wants to bully teenagers. That's what I'm going with.
And wants to like mack on high school girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Dazed and Confused, that's the one thing I love about high school girls. I keep getting older and they stay the same age. So, I mean, I'm here for it, right?
So Doug says, that stunt with the oil cap could have killed me, which is fucking true fact.
Which is true, right? This is just stating facts.
Not just doing this thing where he's like pretending like he can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
Notcher takes his helmet off. He's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. And he's great at fucking playing obnoxious. This actor is skilled.
Yeah.
So Doug punches him in the face and grabs him by the collar. He's like, can you hear me now?
Which is a pretty reserved response, in my opinion, for attempted murder.
The line famously co-opted by Verizon later for the cell phones. But yeah, then so Doug, he's wandering back to the runway. Like he's been wandering through the deserts to get back over here or some shit. Military car comes speeding up. This other kid named Milo jumps out wearing an Eagles jacket also. Runs to Doug, says, there's an emergency with your dad. You got to get back to the base. Did you recognize Milo?
No, because I could not get over how much he looked like River Phoenix from the movie The Explorers.
Yeah, he had that same haircut and the glasses.
Same haircut and the glasses. And he was like, back when he was younger and he still had that really full face. I'm like, and I could not, my brain would not let me not see it as River Phoenix from The Explorers.
So the actor's name is Robbie Rist.
Okay.
He was well known for being Cousin Oliver on the Brady Bunch.
Really?
Like the little kid they brought in when the show had jumped the shark at the end. Crazy.
Oh, wow.
To me. But he was one of the better characters in the movie. He's excellent.
No problem with him. Yeah.
So Milo says, your dad's been shot down. That's all that he knows. Doug jumps in the military car. He's driven away. Just left his wrecked plane out in the desert somewhere.
Someone will take care of it.
Yeah. We don't need to worry about it because we're never coming back to this spot.
Right.
But yeah.
The plot doesn't need it anymore, so the plane no longer exists.
So finally, like the cold open has caught up to reality now. And that's what we'll leave it for this week, listeners.
That was all of Act 1, actually. That we got through all of Act 1 in the first episode.
They keep it moving on this one. I like it.
It's
fast.
Like it. It's clippy. Yeah.
But we'll be back next week. There's so much more to talk about.
We have just scratched the tip of the iceberg on this one.
Yeah. So until then, thanks for listening, and we'll be back.
We'll be back.